So guys, I'm a little bit late on this story. I only just saw the video from Avi Yemeni, and I'll put a link in his channel below if I remember. So go check him out. But let's talk about this. A Melbourne clothing store owner defies lockdown rules and risks a $10,000 fine by reopening 2 days into 15 years. So he has been reopening and enjoys his busiest 2 days in a 15-year with overwhelming community support. So a small business owner who reopened his clothing store despite the risk of fines has urged others to do the same after overwhelming support from the community. Harry Hutchins, who runs a menswear store called Harry's Clothing in Burswick and Melbourne Southeast. The 68-year-old announced on Monday that he was his wits and was reopening his store despite the risk of a $10,000 fine. His decision has proven to be profitable so far, with Mr. Hutchinson telling the Daily Mail that Australia and his stock has been flying off the shelves. It's been the busiest 2 days in the 15 years, he said. Obviously, because he's the only one that's one of the few people that's opening. Hutchins said that he's been inundated with customers since he decided to open his doors and implore other businesses to follow suit. I think a small business should open up. There's safety in numbers. This should have happened weeks ago. If you don't open up, the chances are you'll never open. Each week is another month that it'll go broke. We're not breaking the law. We just want to do our business. Stage 4 restrictions in Melbourne were flagged to be fully lifted by October 19 before Premier Andrews on Sunday extended the state of emergency and state of disaster. Keep in mind this is a week later. They're talking about lifting them again. Mr. Hutchinson said he's been living off JobKeeper payments and his savings in lockdown and believed the time is now for the state to reopen. I don't want to go JobKeeper government support. I want my own income, he said. Now, the threat of the fine became a reality for Mr. Hutchinson Wednesday, with Victoria Police attending the store, threatening him with a $9,994 fine for opening his store. But Mr. Hutchinson wasn't fast, saying he was staying open for the livelihood of his business. They're not stopping me. If I don't open my business, I'll have closed for good at the end of October, he said. The business has been lifted and I'm not going to see it disappear. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, a few people have talked about this. So, lamestream media.
Business owner Harry Hutchinson is facing a $10,000 fine after opening up his struggling clothing store. And Harry joins us now. Thank you for your time, Harry. We heard police paid you a visit this afternoon. What did they say?
They certainly did, Mike. Thanks for the opportunity to respond to this. Look, I had 2 police come in. I tried to get in the door at about 2:30 this afternoon and have a word with me. But at the time, I was on the phone to 3AW, who it was coincidence that they put a call in to find out what's going on down here. But anyway, the police waited a few minutes whilst I got off the phone. I have the door locked when I get 6 people in, so I had to wait till 2 people were about to leave before I can let 2 more in.
That's just funny.
And that was the 2 police I let in. They were extremely pleasant, and they were just doing their job.
Well, if police issue a fine, Harry, will you be paying it?
I certainly won't be paying it, Mike. It'll be like the 4% that have been paid across the state. I'll be adding mine to that as well.
Now, to be fair, Harry, you are in breach of the Chief Health Officer's orders. Why are you any different to any other struggling business out there in Melbourne? There are thousands of them.
Well, there are thousands of them, and we're all in the same boat. We'll never get this down to a single-digit amount, which the Premier's after. That's going to take quite some time, especially after the new outbreak that's going to happen up in Shepparton. You know, so we're all going to be held responsible for that. However, the numbers that we're getting, we'll call it under 20, and the whole state's held to ransom for 20 people who have got this nasty virus. You know, and look at small business. I believe more people are going to die from suicide than by the end of the year that's out. The longer we're all shut down and we're not earning our income, It's demoralising. We've had enough. There's no end date. It is time for small business to open. We're all struggling. I'm not the only one, and not representing Harry's Clothing. I'm representing all the small businesses in Victoria that are in lockdown.
So take it from that, Harry. You're going to stay open. You're open right now, and you'll open up tomorrow.
I will be opening up at 9 o'clock tomorrow and closing at 6 o'clock. I've had to extend my hours because of the volume of customers that are coming through. The amount of people that have been through the store, Mike, is incredible. The well wishes that I've been receiving from over 179,000 well wishes on my Facebook site, which I've got to get back to spend some time. All the small businesses here in my local area and outside the area as far as Darwin. I've just been blown away. I wouldn't believe it possible.
Now, obviously, he's covered it. Obviously, Ethe Yemity has also covered it on the 15th.
Yeah, the police are here now. They're just waiting for my ID.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, obviously I'll be issued with a fine. I think fines are 100 grand.
Okay, ignore the stuff I've written down there.
Yeah, that's okay. Yep.
So I remember
9,900 just been corrected.
So obviously Ethe Yemity has also gone through and talked about it. So obviously guys...
Those commitments.
So I have 2 shops here, and I've been fortunate to be able to trade throughout the whole time because I have foods. And I just could see the whole hypocrisy of it, mainly because stores that could open, like for example a newsagent, were selling clothing out the front. And that's great initiative, but the people who have clothing stores, it's like a kick in the guts to them.
So why is it a news agency could open, but Harry's couldn't? Why is a news agency any more valuable than a clothing store? Which, by the way, the news agency was selling clothes. Funny, that didn't know. And I don't blame the news agency for doing it. Obviously, they saw a market and they've grabbed it, right? But regardless. But guys, obviously go check out Ethe Yemity. Good luck getting subscriptions because they don't send them out. Not with his channel anyway. Which is why it's taken me a week to respond to this. But guys, at the end of the day, yeah, look, obviously what they're doing here is disgusting. I fully support this shopping owner down in Burswick in Melbourne. And look, you know, if I was in the area, I would definitely be buying, guys. But especially from this guy. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I don't know any updates in regards to this. I don't know if things are any better. There's not been an update on the website as far as I know. So, yeah, as far as I know, there's not been an update. But let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night.